Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Hot Fix, where we are on day 3 of our Classic Games Done Quick 10th Anniversary Special. So for those who may be coming for the first time, you're not maybe familiar with the old GDQ history, Classic Games Done Quick was our very first GDQ event that happened almost 10 years ago, so in a couple days it's going to be 10 years old. 2010, yeah, it's been a long time. So we thought, with the 10th anniversary coming up, we figured, why not? Let's just do it all again. So we did all the runs just like how they appeared on the original schedule, except we're not going 24 hours because some of us need sleep. So we're doing 3 days worth. So this is day 3, and we got a lot of runs today. A lot of classics, if you will. I mean, I guess that's why they call it CGDQ, right? So we're gonna be starting off with Ducktales, as you can see. But real quick, before we get into the action, just a couple of announcements. Frame Fatales Marathon in February. Frost Fatales is happening February 23rd to the 29th, and they are still accepting run and volunteer submissions, so head on over to gamesdonequick.com/framefatale for more information. That's FRAMEFATALES. And also we have, that little marathon we call Awesome Games Done Quick. You may have heard of that. That is coming up January 5th through the 12th. If you weren't familiar, we're going 24 hours for a week straight. A bunch of awesome speedruns, raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. So check out gamesdonequick.com for more information and if you want to see a schedule. But without further ado, let's get things started. So we're going to go ahead and start things off with DuckTales. And Endy, the floor is all yours.
Oh, hello everyone. I am EndySWE. And I'm going to run DuckTales because sadly, Frizzyman, I was about to say he's no longer with us, but that would be wrong because he is very much alive, but he doesn't speedrun anymore. So, first of all, I would like to apologize if there's any background noise from my side, because I have kids awake that's usually not awake when I play, and I also have a kitchen renovation going on. But without further ado, let's get started with the run. So we're gonna reset, and the timer is gonna start from character control, which is basically 1 second after I select the stage. So I will basically try and count it down. So we are going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the first stage we pick in this speedrun is the moon stage. The biggest reason for us doing that is because the moon contains a very annoying boss fight with the rat, which is very much RNG. So back in 2010, you had to go into the spaceship and get a remote control for Gizmo Duck to blow up that wall. But things have evolved a bit since then, so nowadays we skip that green wall, just like that, by taking some damage. So here's the rat fight. Also, when Frizzyman ran this game at Classic Games Done Quick in 2010, there was some things that was not known, at least not. I was studying his run earlier today, and from what I could tell, there are some game mechanics in this game when it comes to boss fights. Like, for instance, if you don't move horizontally, if you're basically pogoing and doing it vertical, if you're just going vertical and not moving horizontally, you are basically invulnerable to the boss. You're invulnerable totally. So the boss can't hit you, but you can hit him even if he's on top of you, which is very helpful for most of the upcoming fights here. Nice, we got the D-Pogo, saved like 0.3 seconds. Okay, we're gonna try a very difficult trick here. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, we can! Unbelievable. That trick saves about 1.5 seconds because you skip a helicopter cycle. If you fall down and die, you will lose roughly 45 seconds. So that is a good trade-off, right? That strat was not a thing either in 2010. You could use a bee, you could spawn a bee from the right side to get past a little quicker, but yeah. Oh, here we have the Sentinel fight, and here you can probably see on the 4th and 5th hits maybe how it works. Okay, now I got that pattern. So I didn't do any hits inside him, but still a very good fight. I was gonna show off the invulnerability mechanic, but it didn't happen. So what more to say? The game is basically very much RNG when it comes to the boss fights. The run is extremely optimized nowadays. So the world record back in 2010 was around 5x or 4x. Then there was a SDA submission by Dexter, another Swedish runner, in 2012, which was at 725. So I guess that is the latest. I mean, that's the earliest video I could find, except for Fresiman's AGDQ run, Classic Games and Quick Run, which was a 914, I think. So, yeah. Here's Magic at the Spell, the worst boss. Oh wow, she's being nice. She can actually go 3 different heights, and oh wow, she's been very kind to me. She loves me today. So that was a very good fight. If she goes high, it's almost impossible to hit her. You have a 2-frame window to hit her, and you have to jump very, very precise to hit her if she goes high, and she basically kills all runs. But what was I saying? Yeah, Dexter's run 725. Then later, when I started running this game in 2015. By then, Nudua, a Norwegian runner, had a record with a 715, and that has stood for several years when I started running it. But I finally improved it quite a few times, and at this day, the world record stands at 707.9. I speedrun a lot of games, but this is the game that's closest to my heart, because this is the very first game I ever speedrun, and it's also the game, one of the games I spent the most time in attempts-wise. I have over 25,000 attempts in the game. Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of fast resets, because when you get to a certain point in the game, you're so optimized, so you basically have to reset if you don't get a good pattern on the rat already. So there's a lot of heavy resets. Other things to point out, discovered, is this boss fight, for instance. You can notice on the 4 first hits, I tried to hit him as late as possible. We found a few years back that it actually delays his, it actually speeds up his rolling animation. So you save a half second in the fight compared to hitting him early. There's been a very many small optimizations found like that, which make the run faster overall. And this run is all about the small things. There's a lot of small things that you save time on, and they add up during the 7 minutes the run is nowadays. But yeah, but when I got the record back in 2015, Dexter and I had a battle for it for like a year. He got down to 713. Eventually, I beat him down, and then the next serious contender was Gyarados, who actually had the record at one point for 3 days, I think, before I managed to reclaim it. But since then, I've had it. But another notable discovery in the game is... Oh, listen, I'm gonna try one thing here if I can. Wait. Oh my god. Oh! No! I almost got it! You're not supposed to be able to pogo on the snow. But I managed to do 2 frame perfect snow pogos. Sadly, the second one was a bit too late, so I got a hit from him. Otherwise, that's an impossible strat. It's not even in the world record. Yeah. Anyway, the latest shout out in this game goes to Hemi86, who managed to find that if you do the first stage frame perfectly, which should be easy enough, right? If you basically start the game, you have to start from the title screen within like 20 frames in the beginning, and then you do the stage frame perfect. Then you actually can manipulate the rat pattern, which helped a lot, because even if it's really hard to be consistent, it really helped a lot in making attempts going, basically having a consistent rat to start with. Well, somewhat consistent, like 1 in 10 runs instead of 1 in 50. Okay, final fight. There's one final trick here we're gonna do. We're gonna try to get something called the task pad. Let's see if he... Oh, okay, sadly, he gave us an incorrect. You can only perform the trick if you get it from... If he spawns on the final spawn on one of the 2... on the right side, basically. You can perform a trick, but it's impossible from that position. Time is coming up. Time. Let's see what time we got.
7:15.
15. That actually ties the world record at the point when I started running this game, and it also beats the world record at 2010. So I'm very happy with that.
Cool. Yeah, that's a really good time.
Yeah, it's a really good time. It's that's it's good. But I played as long as I get decent boss patterns. I'm usually able to pull the, and I don't die at the hell escape or something. I'm pretty consistent with this game. I'm never really rusting it because I played it so much. It's an amazing game. It's also a game I could really much recommend. For if you're going, interested in getting into speedrunning, this is one of those games that's very easy to learn. One of the easier NES games, but it's really hard to master when it comes to pushing the times. So, yeah, I guess Ducktales 2 is coming up now by Enemy, so you should stick around for that. And after that, I will be back with Chippendales. So thank you for watching, everyone. And we'll be back soon.
Thanks for playing, Endy. We'll see you in a little bit. And we'll take a quick break as we get set up for DuckTales.